Joining us once again is former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much for being here again. Last night, President Trump ordered the Justice Department, in a bizarre executive order, he ordered DOJ to investigate two named people who served in his administration during his first term in office. Each of them had criticized or contradicted him publicly. This is one of the anti-democratic bright red lines that I've been waiting for the Trump administration to cross. The president ordering his prosecutors to go after named people who displease him. Like, we're there. What do you think the response should be now that this has happened?
Well, in some ways, this is the most disturbing of the executive orders that he has signed. Everybody needs to understand executive orders do not have the power of law, and yet they can move parts of the executive branch. I would hope that lawyers, I assume that they have lawyers, will be as creative and as aggressive as they possibly can to forestall any investigation that might be taken. That might be a difficult thing to do. I'll have to look actually at what the terms are of the executive order. It may state a reason. I have not seen it. It may state a specific reason. He's not been shy in putting into his executive orders exactly why he is ordering these things. And if he's ordering that it be done because they were, in essence, critics of the policies that he had in place in his first administration, that might serve as a basis for trying to forestall any action by the Justice Department pursuant to the orders of the president. But this is a time, I think, to be aggressive in pushing back as much as is possible against these really absurd and shameful executive orders.
And thinking about putting together that kind of aggressive legal defense, that gets us right to the question of what's been happening with the president's efforts to, I think, shockingly successful efforts to intimidate law firms. And we've talked about this a little bit. I mentioned that your firm, Covington and Burling, was the first firm to be targeted by Trump. I know that your firm has signed a brief in support of another firm that is targeted by the president and that's fighting the executive order in court. But, you know, just tonight, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that 4 more big firms are nearing deals with Trump where they're going to do tens of millions of dollars worth of pro bono work for causes that he chooses, all in an effort to sort of appease him and keep him from criticizing them or targeting them. You said that you've been disappointed in the way the law firms have responded here. What do you think the right response would be from law firms, from big law partners, when these threats started coming down the pike? What should they do now, even now that so many of them have already signed these deals?
Well, I think, first off, the profession should have stuck together and rejected all of the attempts to go after them in the way that he has done, reject all of these executive orders and go to court and sue, as some have. If we had stuck together, if we had all stuck together, these facially invalid, clearly unconstitutional orders would have had no impact on the profession and would have allowed the profession to proceed in the way that I expect that it would. It's unfortunate that some have decided to cut deals with the administration, some even before they were the targets of executive orders. And I think that, you know, some pledged $40 million, $100 million, whatever it is, that he can help determine how the money is to be used for so-called pro bono activities. And I saw today he was talking about getting these law firms to help him negotiate trade deals or work on this whole tariff controversy. I'm not sure that they anticipated that, but that's what happens when you make deals with people like the president. You can't really tell exactly how you're going to be used. And so I would hope that that firms would consider their obligations, stand fast, understand that if you sue, you're likely to win, and that you will not suffer any consequence as a result of your opposition. Now, it also means that other firms should not be trying to poach clients of firms that are the recipients of these executive orders, should not be trying to poach lawyers of the firms that receive these executive orders. The profession, these firms, need to stand together. But if we do, I think we ultimately win. And for those who make these deals, what are you going to say 5 years from now, when this is over? And when you start to talk about all the great culture that you have, the commitment that you have to the rule of law, how you're willing to take chances to take on unpopular clients, how are you going to say that with a straight face? How are you going to recruit young lawyers to come join you in what you say is the noble quest of the legal profession? These are all the kinds of things that ought to go into the calculus that these firms make when they're trying to determine how they're going to react to executive orders that are either put against them or threatened to be put against them.
Yeah, what the legal profession, as a non-lawyer looking from the outside, what the legal profession has needed here, plainly, is leadership. I think with those words, you're providing some important leadership here tonight. Former Attorney General Eric Holder, it's an honor to have you here tonight, sir. Come back anytime. I'd love to have you.
Okay, thank you.